Hello and welcome. I am Pranay Upadhyay and you are watching Namaste World, your daily window into the biggest stories shaping India and the world. We begin in India, where New Delhi clears 72,000 crore defense buys to close war gaps and boost long-range strike power. After Israel's December move in West Asia, the spotlight grows on Somaliland recognition and why India still remains silent. In the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the CIA pushes back on Moscow's drone attack claim. Russia, however, says that it has sent proofs recovered from the drone wreckage to the United States. But the biggest news of the day: President Donald Trump warns Iran of US action over a violent crackdown on protests. As deadly clashes grow, the economy buckles and students join in, and Tehran openly defies US threats. All that and more. Global flashpoints, power plays, and stories that matter are coming up in this edition of Namaste World. President Donald Trump has warned Iran against violently suppressing ongoing protest, posting on Truth Social that if Iran shoots and kills peaceful demonstrators, and I quote, "The United States of America will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go," unquote. At least 7 people have died in clashes since protests erupted Sunday in Tehran, sparked by shopkeepers angry over the plunging currency, economic stagnation, and inflation topping 42.5%. Demonstrations spread as students from at least 10 universities have reportedly joined, forcing market closures and prompting the government to declare a holiday. Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said that Iran will not be intimidated by threats, pressures, or targeted killings and will remain committed to the course it has chosen. He said, and I quote, "We are not afraid of martyrdom, and for our nation, our revolution, and our country, we are ready for any sacrifice. We will stand with strength on the path until the end. Our treacherous and oppressive enemies should not think they can frighten us with martyrdom," unquote. The latest protest is the biggest since 2022, when young Iranian girl Mahsa Amini died in police custody, leading to intense nationwide protest. Iran is facing harsh economic sanctions, and President Trump rolled out a maximum pressure policy since he assumed office in January 2025. India is modernizing its defense forces at a rapid pace. A massive 72,000 crore defense purchase has been cleared, focusing on precision weapons built for modern electronic warfare, from GPS-free bomb kits to long-range missiles. This is not routine buying. What is India's preparing for? Here's a report by Rudrashish Kanjilal.
India is rearming, fast, deliberate, and with unmistakable intent. India's Defence Acquisition Council, headed by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, cleared a massive 72,000 crore or nearly $8.7 billion defense procurement package. This is not routine buying. At the heart of this approval lies a clear message: India is closing gaps. Among the systems approved are Spice 1000 precision guidance kits, manufactured by Israel's Rafale Advanced Defense Systems, weapons designed not just to hit targets, but to hunt them. Spice is not a regular bomb kit. It is a family of autonomous air-to-ground precision weapons with a strike range of up to 100 kilometers. The Spice 1000 variant alone weighs around 500 kilograms, but its real weight lies in what it can do. Once released, Spice does not rely on GPS, a vulnerability in modern electronic warfare. Instead, it uses an electro-optical honing head. Driven by an advanced mathematical algorithm, it sees the target, it compares that image in real time, and it corrects itself mid-flight. The result: hit accuracy of under 3 meters. This system has already won Israel's defense prize and now is becoming a core part of India's strike arsenal. But why now? Because May's fighting with Pakistan was a wake-up call. The confrontation underscored a harsh reality. Future conflicts will be fought under intense electronic warfare against Chinese origin air defense systems and across compressed timelines. India needs weapons that work without GPS, without guidance, and without second chances. This was not symbolism, it was preparation. According to SIPRI, India is now the single largest customer of Israeli defense industries, accounting for 34% of all Israeli defense exports between 2020 and 2024. And the cooperation is deepening fast. Last month, Indian defense media reported that a delegation from the Defense Ministry quietly traveled to Israel to finalize discussions on two major systems. First, IAI's Air Lora ballistic missile. Second, Rafale's icebreaker cruise missile. Both deals are expected to go beyond procurement into domestic manufacturing in India. Air Lora is the real game changer. India already uses Rampage missiles deployed on Su-30 MKIs and MiG-29s with range of up to 250 kilometers. Rampage proved deadly accurate in recent combat, but its range still forces Indian jets closer to Pakistani airspace protected by Chinese air defense systems. Air Lora changes that equation completely. With a range of around 400 kilometers, Indian aircraft can strike without crossing into danger zones. Developed at IAI's MLM facility, Air Lora is built to destroy missile launch sites, air defense systems, hardened bases, and bunkers. It weighs about 1,600 kilograms, flies at supersonic speed, and uses jam-resistant satellite navigation. Most importantly, it is launch and forget. Once fired, the missile needs no guidance. It finds its target on its own. With a strike radius of just 10 meters, Air Lora effectively puts every major Pakistani military base within reach. And then there is Icebreaker, Rafale's next-generation cruise missile, capable of striking land and sea targets up to 300 kilometers away. Icebreaker is designed for electronic warfare-saturated environments. It uses infrared imagining navigation, powered by AI-based target recognition. It can operate day and night in all weather and can independently identify its targets mid-flight. This is not just firepower, this is decision-making inside the missile. Taken together, DSC's approval is not about stockpiling weapons. It is about rewriting India's strike doctrine, longer reach, autonomous targeting, and survivability against advanced defenses. Bureau Report, India Today Global.
In December, Israel quietly changed the rules by formally recognizing Somaliland and opening full diplomatic ties. A week later, the celebrations have faded, but the geopolitical impact is growing. With China expanding influence in Africa, should India now rethink its long silence on Somaliland? Here is a report by Rishika Aradhya.
In December 2025, Israel broke a long-standing diplomatic taboo. Israel announced that it had formally recognized Somaliland and signed an agreement establishing full diplomatic relations, including embassies and ambassadors.
Mr. President.
Mr. Prime Minister.
It's good to talk to you, and before anything else, I want you to know that I'm signing now, as we speak, Israel's official recognition of Somaliland and its right of self-determination. Our friendship is seminal and historic. So I'm very, very happy and I'm very proud of this day, and I want to wish you and the people of Somaliland the very, very best there. I think this will be a great opportunity for expanding our partnership. We intend to work together with you on economic fields, on agriculture, in the fields of social development, all the things that we hope we can assist you, and we obviously believe in this friendship. And I have to tell you that there's a lot of excitement here in Israel as well. So I want to use this opportunity, sir, to invite you to an official visit to Israel at your convenience. and I hope very much to see you here soon. This is a wonderful day. It's a historic day. And of course, I'll communicate to President Trump your willingness and desire to join the Abraham Accords. So thank you, Mr. President. Please convey my best regards and the best regards of the people of Israel to the people, to the independent people of Somaliland. Thank you, sir.
That's a great moment and great historical day.
In Hagisa, fireworks lit up the sky as Somalilanders celebrated a moment they have waited over 3 decades for. Israel's move didn't just recognize a country, it shattered an artificial consensus built more on geopolitics than principle. By almost every measurable standard, Somaliland is ready for recognition. It has defined borders rooted in its British protectorate treaties, a functioning democratic system, regular elections, internal stability, and governance capacity that outperforms much of its neighborhood. For over 30 years, Somaliland has governed itself peacefully, while Somalia descended into cycles of anarchy, terrorism, and kleptocracy. Successful democracies do not willingly subordinate themselves to failed states, and Somaliland is no exception. The opposition to Somaliland's recognition is not really about African unity or fear of separatism. It is about China, Djibouti, deeply indebted to Beijing and host to China's first overseas naval bases. Parrots Beijing's lines. Somalia, meanwhile, increasingly behaves like a Chinese client state. Just days before Israel's announcement, Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed openly endorsed China's use of military force against Taiwan, a striking signal of where Mogadishu's loyalties lie. As Somaliland has embraced Taiwan, Somalia has doubled down on Beijing. This is precisely why India should act. India has long claimed to stand for democratic values, sovereignty, and strategic autonomy. Maintaining silence on Somaliland contradicts those principles. Tradition or colonial era constructs cannot justify forcing a peaceful, democratic society back into a failed state, especially when that stance conveniently serves Chinese interests. Strategically, the case is even stronger. China is tightening its grip over the African littoral, Djibouti, Somalia, Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, aiming to dominate the Western Indian Ocean and contain India's influence. Recognizing Somaliland would give India a permanent gateway into Africa, direct access to Ethiopia, the continent's second most populous country, and a reliable partner on the Red Sea corridor. Berbera port and its adjoining airport could become vital hubs for Indian trade, logistics, and connectivity across Africa. If India truly seeks to shape its neighborhood and counter Chinese encirclement, recognizing Somaliland might be a good first step. With Rishika Radia, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
Russia accused Ukraine of targeting President Vladimir Putin's residence with drone, a claim that briefly unsettled Washington. US intelligence now says the attack never happened and found no Ukrainian role. Moscow insists otherwise, claiming recovered drone wreckage and navigation data prove the intended target was the president's residence and says this evidence established the truth. Here is a report by Rudrashish Kanjilal on CIA's pushback on Russia's claim.
One of Russia's most explosive claims have come under the weight of US intelligence. The United States has now determined that Ukraine did not target any residence of Russian President Vladimir Putin in the alleged drone attack in northern Russia. That assessment comes straight from US intelligence agencies, including the Central Intelligence Agency, and it directly undercuts Moscow's narrative. It also contradicts a claim that was initially accepted by US President Donald Trump. According to Wall Street Journal, the CIA found no evidence whatsoever that Ukraine attempted to strike Putin or any of his homes. No targeting data, no corroboration, no attack. CNN has now added another crucial detail. CIA Director John Ratcliffe personally briefed President Putin, concluding that the alleged drone attack on Putin's Novgorod residence never took place. This matters because Russia treated the allegation as a strategic provocation. The story began on December 29, when Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov claimed Ukraine had launched dozens of drones at Putin's residence in the Novgorod region. Lavrov warned that Moscow would reconsider its negotiating position as a result. In short, Russia framed the alleged attack as a direct threat to the life of its president. On December 31st, Russia's defense ministry released video footage. A senior officer displayed fragments of what Moscow said was a Ukrainian Chaklun 5 drone carrying a 6-kilogram explosive payload that allegedly failed to detonate. The ministry claimed 91 drones were intercepted, insisting they were all heading for Putin's residence. But there was a problem. Russia never explained how it determined the destination of those drones. Initially, the allegation rattled Washington. President Trump told reporters he was very angry after speaking with Putin, who raised the issue directly. Kyiv says the entire episode is a disinformation operation designed to drive a wedge between Ukraine and the United States. Ukrainian officials point to timing. The allegation surfaced shortly after a high-profile meeting at Mar-a-Lago between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. European officials are openly doubtful. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas called the reports a deliberate distraction, warning against accepting unfounded claims from the aggressor. She reminded the world that Russia has systematically targeted Ukrainian cities, energy grids, and civilians since launching its invasion. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine began on February 24, 2022. It is now in its fourth year, and as battlefield momentum shifts, information warfare is intensifying. This alleged drone attack wasn't just about security. It was about narrative control, diplomatic pressure, and reshaping peace talks. US intelligence, however, doesn't agree with Moscow. They say there was no attack, no Ukrainian involvement, and no proof behind one of Moscow's most dramatic claims yet. The war continues, not just with missiles and drones, but with stories designed to shape power, perception, and politics. With Rajashish Kanjalal, Bureau Report, India Today Global.
As we wrap up today's show, here is a quick look at the top stories making waves around the world. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani revokes executive order issued by Eric Adams, his predecessor, after his indictment, keeping emergency measures intact. Kim Jong-un's daughter, Kim Joo-ae, made her first public visit to North Korea's state mausoleum, fueling fresh succession speculations. Iran marks the 6th anniversary of Qasem Soleimani's killing with rallies blaming the United States and Israel for state terrorism. And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Namaste World. From breakthrough in technology and business to political developments and natural disasters. Stay tuned as we bring you the latest updates, key developments and more from New Delhi to New York. See you again tomorrow, same time, right here on Namaste World.